Hi there and welcome back to In Search of Lost Diecast. Brian here. A few comments in the last video. Just want to address for the new people around, the reason that it's called In Search of the Lost Diecast is purely and simply that I had a collection that I no longer have. For one reason or another, that collection went, and I am desperately trying to replace the ones that I once had. So over the last few videos, obviously I've been buying bits and bobs and showing you the bits that I've actually managed to pick up to replace the ones that went missing. Like with all things though, I think sometimes it's very easy to get sidetracked and you end up buying bits and bobs that you didn't necessarily have, just because they're nice items. So decided to double down and refocus. A lot of my collection were Matchbox. I want to try and replace those ones. In the last video I showed you little cases that I'm hoping to display those Matchbox ones in, and today's selection of bits and bobs is where I've actually physically gone out and concentrated on the Matchbox ones. So they are in various states of repair. Some will need to be refurbished, some are very good, but I'll let you be the judge of that anyway. Right, so first one up we have the pipe truck. Now the great thing with this is it's an original box with the original pipes, which is fantastic, and I'm so pleased with that one. So there we go. Let's just take those off for a second so you can have a look at the model. So a little bit of a kink down here. Obviously it's lost a wheel, but that's easily, I mean, believe it or not, the vehicle's not the difficult part to get. It's the actual box and the pipes. So I didn't worry about that, and funnily enough, very shortly afterwards I managed to pick this up. So this is obviously a replacement box, but this has got the full set of wheels, but it has got a almost complete set of pipes. I just need one extra pipe. But yeah, so there we go. So that is the Matchbox number 10 pipe truck. Very happy with those. So let's put those all back on here. I think the way it goes is you have 3 one way and then you have 3 the other way, just to balance it up. There we go. And we'll sort of stick these over here. And obviously a couple of boxes. Now, when you're talking about those kind of things, there's lots of vehicles out there that need bits and pieces. I have managed to get hold of a sight hut truck with a sight hut, and I have managed to get a girder one. That's not in this video because they haven't physically arrived yet, but I have got this one, which is a Mercury commuter. Now I made the box for this one. So there we go. Generally pretty good. A few little chips and scuffs on it, but it's what happens, unfortunately, but that's pretty good. Got the little doggies in there. Doors don't open on this one though. But this was the base model for several vehicles. It's got the old style wheels, but it was a police car, it was a fire chief car, it was a saloon, it was a station wagon with a lowering tailgate. They're all basically the same vehicle. But yeah, so that's that one. Put that one over there. There we go. Then I picked this up at a boot sale, mainly because of that door. You can get any amount of these, and they're always missing that door. So not the greatest condition, bent front axle, missing rear axle, but it's this part that I actually wanted, because I think I've got another one with a much earlier wheel configuration, which I can make one good one out of. So that's is that the cattle truck? It is the cattle truck, yeah, there we go. Need a couple of cattle for that one as well. Then there's this one, which is the number 43 personnel carrier. Again, little bit of a kinks there, but otherwise all there. I'm obviously missing the tracks as they always are, but it's a nice little one. This one here, which was in this job lot of bits and bobs. This is Popeye's car, and it's all there. Again, not really my thing, but I'm sure someone will want it, and I might be able to swap it for something that I do want. So stick that over that side. If you're after one of those, let me know. Obviously, email somewhere down here. We've got the Ford Capri Matchbox number 54, and this one is pretty good. Bit sun bleached in places, but generally you see the difference in colour. So it was quite orange there, less orange there where the sun's hit it, but opening bonnet. The big super fast wheels. This is just they went for the silly engine version. So this is the last I was looking at, and there is a little number plate there, BYN 623J. Let me get it in there so you can see. There you go. There's our little number plate. So that's the Escort, Capri rather. Sorry, I've got Fords on the brain at the moment. Got a few little Formula 1 cars. So there's two of these. This is the Maserati, I think. Yeah, Maserati 4CLT 1948. There's two of those. One's got the driver, one hasn't. One's got a full set of wheels, the other one hasn't. But again, nice little pair of cars. There's lots of them in this version. So there's two of them. And that's the Cooper. I think it's the Cooper. Not going to have any details. Oh, it's the Lotus. Beg your pardon. It's the Lotus. So two versions of the Lotus there. One with a set of wheels, one without. And again, this was just a little Matchbox job lot, I think. So other than paid up for those, but this was a job lot altogether. Nick that came with that one as well. We got the Ferrari shark face one, which is number 73 for F1 Ferrari, missing its driver, so I'm after a driver for that one. But there was lots of these little racing cars in this job lot, so stick them all there. I think this is another Lotus. Is it another Lotus? No, it's not another Lotus. This is a BRM, beg your pardon. So it's looks like it was originally orange, but again the details will be up here. So this is a BRM, and this is no number. Okay, great stuff. No number on there at all, not even in the depths of it. Oh yes, there is. Beg your pardon, right there, number 52 BRM. There we go. So that's another one there. We've got this one, which is an Aston Martin DBR5, which is rather nice. God only knows where I'm going to get the tyres for that. Are they the same as this one? I don't know if they are. Are they the same diameter? Maybe. Let's just give it a... If I can get one of these off. I'm going to get one off. None of them want to move. No, they're well on. Probably been glued on, because those little tyres often came off, so quite often I think people used to glue them. This is going to be too big, I think. Yeah, they're too big. That one might do it. That's similar. Is that one going to move? Let's just give it a little go, see if we can get one on there just to see. No, doesn't want to come off. There we go, got one off. So let's have a look. So yeah, that's the tyre. That's going to be the tyre. So I don't know quite what that is, but yes, that would be the tyre. And again, missing a driver, but that's the Aston Martin DBR5, and that is number 13? Number 19. Aston Martin DBR5, number 19. There we go. That's that one. And we got this one, which is another different one. And this one is another BRM, so it's the same as that one. So perhaps that one was just did that one come in two colours? Interesting. We shall have to investigate. But yeah, that needs a couple of sets of tyres. So anyone out there got loads of those little tyres, that'd be great. I'll stick those down there. So a possible red one and a possible blue one. Then, as I say, there seems to be, with the exception of the Aston, seems to be two of just about everything. Again, missing a driver, but got a steering wheel. This is the F1 Ferrari again. So we have got a complete set of wheels for one of them anyway, so that's cool. Then we've got a much later one, which is a Corgi Junior Formula 5000 racing car. Much prefer these. Is that a sign of age? Yeah, probably. Anyway, so there we go, Formula 5000. So that's it for the Matchbox ones. There's a Husky Studebaker Wagonaire, missing its tailgate, as they often are, but it does have the little sliding roof. Glass on this one's actually in remarkably good condition. Obviously an ambulance at some point. Looks like there might have been a little stretcher in there. Again, up here it will tell you if there was or not, but that's the Studebaker Wagonaire. Again with plastic base, but fantastically, all the little corners of the bumper, front and back, are still there. So if a tailgate can be sourced, that one's right for a renovation, which is unusual for Husky because there's normally several bits missing. Well, I know there are several bits missing, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so that's, let's put him over there. There we go. So that's that one. Then we go slightly bigger. No, actually, we've got one more. There we go. We've got Majorette. There we go. Majorette camper van. I think that door opens, but quite how it does open is beyond me. It does look like it opens. Actually, somewhere here, I do have a little kniffy. Let's see if we can get it open. There we go. I'm probably forcing something that doesn't need to be forced. That's weird, it's got a tow hook there as well. Has that been added? That's been added. Let's see if... Ah! So we've got the window in there. Does that door... That door does open, I think. No, it doesn't open. Despite the fact that it's cut all the way around it, which is rather strange. That door does not appear to open. Just look in there. There you go. See, it's cut all the way around it, but it doesn't open. Very strange. So that's the Majorette. So I suppose, unless that's... Is that two vehicles into one? It fits rather too well for it not to be part of that. I mean, I know there's a little clip missing there, but that goes on rather well. But it's weird how it covers. Again, research up here. But it's weird how it's got those light beacons on the top, and then they're hidden when you put that on. So some further investigation will be needed on that one. Perhaps that was a pickup truck, but it actually accepted them. So this is the back off of one, and this is the pickup truck off front of the other. Hey ho, that is a... Oh, what does it say? It just says ECH. Made in France, Majorette. So very weird. A little bit of fluff on the wheel, but that's okay. Yeah, interesting that one. Further investigation needed. There we go. So that's that one. So that is now it for the Matchbox. And then we've got, well, the Matchbox 64. We've got a couple of Matchbox slightly bigger ones. So as you can see, there was a bit of a theme going with this lot. So this is 1971 Speed Kings. No other details. But yeah, Team Matchbox, I think it is. Yeah, Team Matchbox. Red one. That one goes over there. If you're going to have a red one, you may as well have a yellow one. There's another very similar one. Is it the same? No, it is different. That one is, again, no number. It is very, very similar wheelbase and different. The exhaust broken off on that one. Yeah, I think they are, aren't they? Yeah, exhaust missing off that one. Slightly no, they are different. I think they are different cars. Yep, they are different cars. Yeah, different backs. So there you go. A couple of Speed Kings, Super Kings, Speed Kings, Formula 1 cars. Then we got Miniaturas, which I presume is JOAL. So that's the Ferrari Can American. Opening doors, opening boot. Obviously missing, I think that's probably mirrors, and I think it's missing a spoiler at the rear. But the glass is intact, the steering wheel's intact, so wouldn't be the greatest thing in the world, most difficult thing in the world to make a little spoiler for that. But that's that. So that's the Ferrari Can-Am number 116. Interesting screw base. Very interesting. And little rear lights there. Obviously a sticker missing from there. Checkered kind of sticker. It's got the Ferrari badge right at the very back. There you go. There you go. There's Ferrari. So that's that one. We'll stick that one with that one. Then we've got, this is another pickup at a car boot. I got that one, this one, and the stretcher fetcher, because it had a tailgate, and I had one, a good one that didn't have a tailgate. But this has got the opening doors. This is from the artillery unit, I think it is. So it's a three-piece. You've got like a truck, you've got this, and then you've got a gun on the end. It's a flat gun on the end, and that's where you store your little shells that it fires. And those three were £1, so that was cool. Tow bar intact. It's a later one, obviously, with a plastic tow bar rather than a metal one. There you go. Ammunition limber. Ammunition limber Corgi. So there we go. So that's that one. Put that one in there. Then we've got a series of 4 little cars. Actually 3, beg your pardon, 3 more. I thought it was 4, it's 3. So I've got a Corgi Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Roadster. And this one's minty fresh. So this is be the Atlas edition, later version, I think. Is it Atlas? It's definitely a later one. Is it Atlas? Made in China. But it's a very nice rendition of this car, with the driver. And again, I think I paid £8 for the 3 cars. So yeah, no brainer. That car boot, it was someone clearly just wanted to get rid of their bits and bobs. A very rare occasion where you weren't confronted by someone saying, "Oh, on eBay this one goes for £58." So literally it was just a case of, how much you want for that? And he said, well, give us a tenner for the 3. I said, take 8. And he said yes. So bonus. So there's Mercedes 300 SL Roadster over there. Then there was the, where are we? The Ford Thunderbird Open Sports. So this one here. Again with a driver, but looks like very much like the same driver. Looks like he's probably had a lobotomy at some point, because obviously half of his hair's missing. But the driver does go in and out. Again, very pretty rendition of it. There we go, there's your Ford Thunderbird. 2, 3 little rivets. Not that you'd ever want to refurbish that, because that's like absolutely mint. So that's rather nice. Do like a Thunderbird, both Jerry Anderson and in real life. But there we go. So that's that one. These are ones that I actually wanted, so these are not up for debate or exchange. And finally, I got the Oldsmobile Sheriff, which is rather nice. There we go. We've got the County Sheriff badge on the side door. The side door, as opposed to the front door. No. On the passenger door is what I actually meant. Obviously, we've got a little beacon on the top. Actually got the Oldsmobile written in the grille, which is really nice. There we go. Same little decal on the driver door. Nicely detailed rear lights. Lovely little model, that one. And again, there we go. homage to the original Corgi release there, despite the fact it says made in China. And that's it. That's our little job lot for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope there's a few cars in there of interest. I think my particular favourites this time round are these little F1s and obviously the pipe truck. I think these, once refurbished, are going to look absolutely stunning. Need to find out where to get some. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers. I need to get a job lot of drivers, but there's a man I know, certain Mr. PJ of Midlife Models, who has just got a 3D printer working, and he's very kindly done me some missiles for my Jerry Anderson collection. So I may have to hit him for a few drivers for these vehicles, because then there's nothing to stop. These ones are nice and simple. There's only one rivet on them. Everything else is intact. Saw some tyres. I've got a load of tractors that have got tyres which I think are very, very similar. So I should be able to sort of shoe these with a decent tyre. It's just finding those little drivers. If I remember rightly, there are certain drivers. This is an early one, obviously, because it's metal. But the ones in these ones were plastic, and it was the driver holding a steering wheel. I'm sure it was. But in there, actually, perhaps it wasn't. Perhaps I'm wrong. In there is a little. I'll get it in the right angles for you to see. Not gonna. I can see it, but I don't think you can. There's just a little sprocket in there that holds the steering wheel. So perhaps there was a separate steering wheel. So I might have to raid my collection of Days Gone vehicles and nick some steering wheels off that. Are they all the same? Yep, that one's got one. That one's got its steering wheel. That one doesn't look like it did have, because obviously it's metal. That one does. That one does, because it's the same. That one's got them. Those two got their steering wheels. So none needed for that. None needed for that. So effectively, I've got to come up with 1, 2, 4 steering wheels, 1 metal driver, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 plastic drivers. Brilliant. Okay, well guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the continued support. It makes doing these worthwhile. What a lot of you probably don't realise is a 20-minute video doesn't take 20 minutes. It takes several hours, because obviously I now go away and all the cock-ups I've made over talking about these cars, I try and address with little images up here and details down the bottom. So that's my next job. I will be going away and doing that. But any comments you have, anything else you'd like to see, unfortunately still no further forward with the shed, but now the better weather's coming, my intention is to get out there and just do a few cars out in the garden, and see how they come out. Fortunately, I've got enough to be having a play and not being desperately upset with the outcome. And plus the fact, if you don't do them right the first time, you can always strip them again and do them a second time. So that's that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for the comments, and see you all again next week. All the best. Bye now. One final bit of information for those of you that are interested. The DMC, the Diecast Modelers Community, have a bi-weekly live chat on YouTube. It happens on a Saturday night normally. Sometimes it's a Sunday, but mostly it's a Saturday. And I have done a video for that about creating boxes. So I'll be on there live. I think it's a week on Saturday, to talk about it and answer any questions you might have. So look into that one if you can. Right. Cheers. Bye.